Hello, I'm back for some more chair chat. Number 3. In this video, I'm going to talk about the early days of recycling for me. But first, I need to explain a couple of characters. My grandfather had 4 other brothers, 2 that I've met, and the other 2 I've never met. But one of those brothers was Uncle Babe. And Uncle Babe was in the military. He used to be in the military. And one of his claims to fame was the fact that he had tucked himself away and he read the entire Bible. And this was something very, very impressive to the family. Wow, he read the whole Bible. You know, he just put himself away and he read the whole Bible. Another thing was he was a great storyteller. And he used to always tell us stories about Maggie Red Drawers. And as kids, we were totally fascinated. Maggie Red Drawers, but it was funny to us. Maggie Red Drawers. I don't know. We found it very funny. And for some reason, we would always, when we got around him, we would always insist that he tell us about Maggie Red Drawers. I don't remember any of the details of the story. I just remember the name. Because again, it amused us. But it turns out that Maggie Red Drawers is a military term. Now, did I say, or I should point out if I didn't say, that again, he was in the Army. And Maggie Red Drawers is a term used at a shooting range. So, if you happen to miss your target on the shooting range, miss it completely, then a red flag would be waved over the target, indicating that you completely missed. And that's known as Maggie Red Drawers. Another thing that's also noteworthy is the fact that Maggie Red Drawers is also it was a popular song and that was written in the 30s, and a military song. And what's interesting is it is the most bawdy song I've ever heard. I just didn't expect to hear anything like that out of the 30s. Wow. I mean, we're talking like gross. The lyrics to this song, I really couldn't believe it. But that's my Uncle Babe. And then there's Uncle Corey. Now, Uncle Corey, I have a great deal of experience with. I mentioned in the previous video that, now let me get this right, because I don't think I got it right in the previous video. And that is that my two brothers, and my sister, myself, we all slept with my mother, so the 4 of us. As I got to be older, and I'm growing, then I was sent to sleep with my Uncle Corey in a twin bed. Good man. And now Uncle Corey used to do what is known as junking. This is one of the things he did for money. And junking was another name for what they now call recycling. So, he knew in the neighborhoods nearby, what day trash day was. So he had this wagon that he made, which was like maybe something that was like 8x6, metal wheels. It was painted orange. It had a license plate because he would walk in the street with this. And if you're on the street, you had to have a license. And apparently that was the law, back then. And so I would go with my uncle on some of these excursion junking, So, my job is to go out there and grab that paper and bring it back and put it inside the wagon. Okay. And so that was, I guess it was work. But what was fun was when the day was done with my uncle on all that, and when we, walked back home, and the houses back then, or certainly in a neighborhood, had these long windows that was right underneath the porch. And if you're actually in the basement, those windows were actually how you got your coal in the house. So there's two bins in the basement. One bin was for coal. The other bin, he would put all the recycling in. And now that was fun, for us. Now, it was our job sometimes, where somebody would tell us that we had to, put coal in the furnace. So, you're shoveling up with that. And man, do I remember the basement very clearly, because it had this, the furnace was this kind of monstrous looking thing, like this metal hydra with tentacles coming out. It was really kind of scary. But about the all the paper that was down there in the other bin, my brother, this was major fun, because we would just go in there, lie in there, rolling around in all the paper, looking for comic books. So that was, kind of work and fun, for us. Occasionally we would come across, some adult magazine, but we were young. We didn't care about that. Hey, what is she doing? What's her problem? And my brother's like, I don't know. But it also turned out that my mother and her sister were also purging for magazines. So anyway, what my uncle would do is he would basically get some rope, that kind of thin-looking hay rope, and he would tie up all the papers into these bales. Very organized, very neat-looking. And then once that's done, it goes back into the cart that I was telling you about earlier, the orange wagon, and then we're back at the recycling place. And so they take the paper, and if he had metal scraps, and I just remember this, it was like a warehouse, and it looked big. But they'd take the metal, and the guy would then you see him putting it all on something, and he would weigh it, and money is transferred, and then we go back home. So anyway, that's my experience with early recycling. Let me point out that I've added a video, a companion piece, let's say, right below this video, which is a song called The Haircut, and it's a song that deals with the kind of music that I would hear that was played in Nate's Barbershop, which was just right on the corner of the house that I'm talking about. It's called The Haircut. So anyway, I will leave you with that, and I will see you next time.